Okay, so the next thing we're going to do in the eye retouching is we're going to create the moon, which is the highlight that is opposite the catch light in the eye. Okay, let's click on the moon layer, and we're going to create the moon, which is the highlight that is opposite the catch light of the eye. And I have actually created all of these nice little moon brushes for you to use. Now, if you've ever taken a class with Faye Circus, she's the master at retouching eyes. She goes in each time and she paints a perfect crescent moon in a person's eye because she's a true artist. I'm a photographer, and I have big, fat, clunky fingers, and I cannot paint brushstrokes beautifully the way Faye Circus does. So I do things a little bit more mechanically, and when I create something that works well for me, I make a brush out of it so I can reuse it over and over again. So I've got my moon layer right here, and I'm clicking on the pixel part of the moon layer. Go over here and pick my brush tool, and I want my moon to be white, so I make sure my foreground color is set to white, which it is. And go up here to the brush palette, and here you can see that I have different sized moons for you to use. Now, because my catch light is at the top of her eye, I want a moon that's going to be in the center. So let's go down here and actually let's pick DC's Eye Retouch Moon 20 pixel center. Okay. She's got a moon on her eyebrow. We'll get rid of that. Okay. Let me go right over here, and right on at the bottom of the iris, just above the iris ring, I'm just going to click once, and I've just stamped the moon on there for us to use. Now, it's a little bit bright, so I'm going to go over here to my layer, my moon layer, and you can actually see that up here, when I ran those actions, or ran that action that created these layers, it set the layer blending mode to screen. That's what we want to keep it at, but I'm just going to lower the opacity a little bit just to make it look a little more natural. Let's leave it at 50% now. The nice thing about doing all these things on separate layers is that you can go in and you can either adjust the opacity, you can paint on the individual masks to clean things up. It just gives you a lot of ability to do these everything with a lot more control. So, okay, that's all of the retouching for the eye, using all these layers and using the action that I created for you. And everything is now contained in this nice little folder here, this layer grouping called Eyes Retouched. So you can now use this whole group, and if you needed to, you could even lower the opacity of the entire group if you wanted to, if it was coming up a little bit too vivid and looking a little unrealistic. You could actually lower the opacity of the entire group. And of course, when you do all your retouching, you need to do both eyes. In this case, I didn't, just to show you and just for brevity's sake. But here, let's back out a little bit. And here, I can click that group off and on. So I just did the one eye, but that's everything where it's all retouched. And again, like I said, I could either adjust the opacity, or if I saw something I didn't want and wanted to eliminate completely, I could use the mask here and paint on it. So that's it for eye retouching. Thanks for sticking with me through all those lessons, and I hope you got something out of it. Hey, thanks. Let's move on to something else.